I expected the Texans' offensive line to struggle yesterday. That was expected. You had 4 backup offensive linemen out there, 1 starter who hasn't been all that great. I did not expect the Texans' defense to be so soft, to be so completely and totally unprepared for what they knew the biggest challenge was. This guy right here, Anthony Richardson. The Colts hadn't been able to run with their running backs the week before. It was all Anthony Richardson. Everything starts and finishes with this young, erratic quarterback with his legs and the threat that they provide. So I thought the Texans might be ready for that. Let's just go ahead and take a look through the highlights and see if that was the case. There we go. He's got the C on his chest because he's a captain. Nice little crosser there. Fumble forward. Can't recover in time. Exuberance unfounded. They run a rub route that doesn't even need to be rubbed. It's like more of a wet dream than masturbation on the rub out there. Moelle penis. Yeah, just get an extra 3 yards there. Why don't you? Just give him to him. 18-yard line. Hey, Pop Warner players, what's a threat with an athletic quarterback down in the red zone? They're riding the pony. Should have been flagged. That's a sexual riding of the pony. Let's take a look at this for a moment, okay? It's the 18-yard line. You've got one of the most athletic human beings who have ever played quarterback back there. It goes into the gun, pulls the ball down. Defensive lineman recognizes it somewhat, but your linebacker there, Toa, decides that the best way to take on this 350-pound guy that's running at you, so it's clearly not a pass anymore, it's a run play. This isn't college. Offensive linemen aren't allowed to be 18 yards downfield. This is a run play. You just sit back there and decide to wait and see what Anthony Richardson decides to do. God forbid you take the fight to him. Look, this isn't drunken Stetson Bennett. This is stone cold sober. Ugh. Gotta watch that dance. Shane Steichen. Here we go. How about a little bit? No. Nothing for you. Yeah, and it's a turnover. I was kind of surprised. That was never in doubt. Let's watch it from another angle just to prolong our misery. Anybody that found their way here via the algorithm because you're a Colts fan, sorry. I played for the Texans. All right, guys, now listen. I know we told you all week about the quarterback and what a threat he was to run. We're down in the red zone again, okay? So just completely forget about the quarterback. It's cool. They wouldn't dare go to a designed QB run yet again after running it uncontested the first time. Defensive end gets sucked down. He thought that tight end was going to kick him out. It wasn't. So Will Anderson misshoots by about 15 yards. And then you also get a nice shot of Denzel Perryman just getting absolutely destroyed by a wide receiver with no head on 0 swivel. And then he doesn't look. Anthony Richardson really doesn't have to take a hit here. He could stop and let 29 fly by, but he gets concussed instead, which honestly, Anthony Richardson might have been able to run for 5-6 touchdowns yesterday from like the 50. Stewart concussing Richardson there might have been the only thing that kept the Texans from getting blown out by 70. Oh, good. We get another shot of it. Let's see. Derek Stingley. I don't know if the old spinneroo is the right tactic. Stewart with a nice hit. Head to the turf. He was not overly concussed at that moment, but sometimes these symptoms take a while to kick in. Another shot at it, 14-0. This was a big connection on the day. 7 receptions, over 100 yards to Nico Collins, breaking a lot of tackles afterwards too. The run after the catch was nice. Touchdown, Nico Collins. This is a very nice connection. If you watch Nico up at the top, There was a window for CJ to throw. I don't know why he turned it down right then, but ends up throwing high in the back of the end zone, which is what you want. It's low in the front of the end zone. You want it high in the back of the end zone. Maybe not quite that high, but it's better to err on that side. So if there's any kind of traffic, it just careens off into the ether instead of being intercepted. Play action, no pressure, run it anyway. Oh, yeah. I'm guessing this will be a highlight because he showed his incredible ability to throw with his left hand, unlike my ability to say ability. It's ironic. He threw to the broadside of a barn, an open sea with no receivers, with his left hand. Who could achieve such might and wonder? Errant throw. I'm not sure why that's on the highlight reel. It was nice PBU, I guess, by the Texans, but that was more about the throw than the pass breakup. Oh, again, blitz. All right. He let the inside guy go. You want to take care of the inside threats and let the quarterback take care of the outside threats. Okay, Minshew in the game. At some point after the concussion, Anthony played a little bit, but like I said, sometimes these symptoms present themselves as time goes by. 4-man pass rush. Nice soft zone coverage. And these guys, look, they're playing zone the way high school kids play zone. Wind it back a little bit right here. Everybody's running to their spots, and 14's just parked there, stationary, for a good amount of time. It wasn't like that was an anticipation throw or anything. I think, look, D'Amico, after Eric Murray went out, realized he's got a bunch of backups in the secondary. He's going to try to take care of the pass rush and stopping the run with the front seven without having to blitz and hopefully take it easy on the guys on the back end. Problem is the guys on the back end didn't play for squat, and the guys on the front end were soft and didn't get a pass rush in general without blitzing. And D'Amico didn't really adjust or adapt to that until the second half. So Gardner Minshew's he's smart enough. He's been in the league a while. He's going to pick you apart if you have zero urgency and complete desire to hurt or maim or kill anybody. A complete lack of maiming to kill. Maiming to kill, aiming to maim. Wide open, unfettered and free, like a free-range chicken. Mallory. I don't know. What's that kid's name? Mallory. 43-yard reception. My God. Red zone. Texans don't stop anybody in the red zone. I mean, that's literally correct. They've not stopped anybody in the red zone yet. Absorb. Fling. Let's watch this again. Okay? 4 down. No blitz of any sort. Got to stop with your defensive line and your linebackers, right? Defensive line. You got guys across the line of scrimmage. You got a double team on one defensive tackle. Nobody getting off blocks. Linebackers, defensive backs absorbing blocks. Somebody loses leverage on the outside. This is really bad. Steichen looks less Ichabod Crane-ish now. I feel like he's put on a little mass. Maybe he got the offseason. Maybe he's got on the male hormone replacement. I don't know. It's legal if you're a coach. Roid up, bro. 21-7 for those of you who are watching this and yet can't read numerals. 4-man rush. 7-man protection. Nice. Got lots of time. 6-man protection. Nico crossing route. That would be a theme on the day. Any kind of in-breaking route with Nico was a good thing. Okay. Again, throwing high in the back of the end zone. Settle for a field goal. 21-10. Maybe slowly clawing our way back into this. 4-man rush. Okay, that's just a nice throw and catch. Game recognized game on that one. That's what I always say for the first time ever just now. Nice throw and catch. Nice rush. Nice catch. Poor leverage. Got him down. Okay, so let's watch this again. You see the defensive line there? They have this thing where they overload 3 defensive linemen to the left, 1 defensive lineman, the defensive end over there on the right side of the defensive line. And I don't know if it's fooling anybody. Like one of those defensive tackles eventually has to work his way back over, but whatever. Got a good rush from the top there. But a better throw and poor leverage by the defender. We get down into the extreme red zone. 4-man rush, not getting there quite quick enough. Good throw and catch. Not horrendous, but not making plays. And these again are defensive backs that I don't know if they just learned how to even fly into the city of Houston recently. Time. See what's become yes of Nico. We'd like a little run after the catch, but I'll take the connection. Ooh. Oh, yee. Screen game not on point yesterday, whether it was to Dameon Pierce, Tank Dell on something that was credited as a run because it was a lateral. It wasn't pretty. I know they weren't running the ball well, but they were setting it apart by not screening well either. They had a look, it was enough. There was a rush, but these defensive backs aren't good enough to play with just an okay rush. Like there need to be guys marauding up the middle, careening off the edges, torpedoing from underneath. They had none of that. They had no mass weaponry going on. There we go to Nico. You can see over the middle, and one thing that you can capture on some of the replays on the broadcast, you could really see how Tank Dell opened things up even more for Nico. Teams have to respect that speed of Tank Dell, and they've run some nice combos with that guy and Nico Collins, which is cool to see. Compression. This is one of at least 2 sacks where I think to watch again. Boy, that compressed awful quickly. CJ's staying calm in the pocket, and that's awesome. There are a couple times where I think maybe he's willing to stand in there a little too long. Not Tom Savage like. Savage would sit there and get beat about the head and shoulders with a baseball bat before he realized it was time to take off. CJ's pretty calm, cool, and collected, which is a good thing. I just fear that with too many hits, he's going to lose some of that. This was the good one. Wasn't always that way yesterday. Yeah. Robert Woods barely stepped out of bounds. But CJ to Robert Woods with anticipation, a lot of times for first downs where maybe it's Robert Woods just a yard or 2 past the sticks and CJ throwing it low into traffic to make it safe. Has been really good. Brevin Jordan got involved. The tight ends, Brevin Jordan, Dalton Schultz getting involved finally in the 4th quarter. Boy, this was the one they were allowed to celebrate on, right? Yeah, because this one counted. Let's watch this again. Look, we can talk garbage time all you want. I think there were times where the Colts blitzed in that second half, even though they were playing conservative for the most part. They blitzed and CJ found Nico. There were other times where, yes, are the Colts playing softer coverages? Sure. But I think credit CJ for understanding where to go with the ball as a rookie quarterback and almost bringing it within 1 score if it hadn't been for poor field goal kicking. And just making some really nice throws to the sideline. He's got plenty of strength. He's got plenty of anticipation. He's got a coordinated dance that they had to attempt twice yesterday because the one was called back. See, CJ to Woods in traffic, I feel very comfortable with. I feel like he's got a good feel for exactly what risks he can take. Man, Nico's yards after contact yesterday were pretty good. There's Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz has gone from potential safety blanket to basically a lead apron. He short-armed one yesterday that was unforgivable. This one, I think CJ fled the pocket earlier than he had to. I know on the broadcast they were saying that left tackle, that Jones should have been able to lock the guy down. I don't know. CJ fled out almost directly into his path. So it wasn't brilliant protection, but I think CJ can be better. He's demonstrated that he's gotten a lot better. He made a lot of improvement from game 1 to game 2. All right. Looked like a broken play at first, didn't it? Ugh. Okay, get rid of the football there. Oh man, he went running all the way down through the tunnel. I didn't know if the TV broadcast would have caught it. I'm really disappointed in the defense. I'm encouraged by some of the things we saw from CJ throwing to Nico, throwing to Tank Dell, throwing to Robert Woods. I'm probably missing somebody there, but that was good. That was good stuff. As Texans Cap pointed out, we could talk about garbage time, but there really wasn't any time in this game that wasn't garbage time. The amount of time CJ had 4 throws in this game in which the Texans had better than a 25% chance of winning the game. I think under different circumstances, if the defense just showed up at all, if the defense looked like they'd paid attention to the game plan at all. This wasn't a short week. It wasn't like they were playing on Thursday night or anything. They knew damn well what the problem and the challenges were with Anthony Richardson. And then beyond that, just in any run game versus any running back versus any quarterback, the defensive line, the linebackers, you cannot absorb blocks. You got to show up and you got to deliver punishment. I'm hoping that CJ is going to learn some valuable lessons with these last couple weeks and probably at least 2 more weeks of really shoddy offensive line play. It'll feel like he's pressing the easy button if they can get Laramie and Titus back here and they can have some semblance of consistency on the offensive line. Until then, it might be a little bit ugly, but some good things to glean offensively. Defense, they're going to have a gut check. I think D'Amico's really going to challenge these guys in their toughness and their commitment, all that stuff this week. I would expect a really hard, physically fought game against Jacksonville this coming week. I'm Seth Payne, played 10 years in the NFL, played for the Texans for 5 years, Jaguars, ironically enough, for the previous 5. And if you enjoyed what you saw, please like, subscribe, etc., etc.